Mom, what is it like being the first biracial child in your family? So my mom is Mexican and black. Her mother is Mexican. Her father is African American. So on the African American side, she is the first Mexican person to be into their family. And on the Mexican side, she is the first African American side. Well, the first African American on that side of her family. So what was that like, Mom?
I don't know. It wasn't like anything. I belonged in both sides of the family, and I'm proud of both sides of the family.
So you never felt the discrimination?
Yeah, but not from my family.
That's great. So
I think I'm one of a kind with that, because I know a lot of people experience that, but not myself personally, no. Both my families embraced me, and I embraced both of them.
Do you feel like if you were not raised in San Diego, you would have felt a little bit more discrimination?
Oh, I'm sure. My father's from Mississippi. I'm sure that it wouldn't have been accepted. My grandparents, although I will say before I actually got here, did not agree with my parents having me.
And that was both sides of your family, right?
Both grandmothers, yes.
I think as we get older and we realize why your parents felt a type of way or why they tried to stop you from certain things, I think it was more so them trying to protect their children and their grandchild coming into this world where back then it was harder for Mexicans, which it still is, as we see. They're trying to deport everybody, and it's harder for African Americans from the South. So I can see why they were a little apprehensive about it, because here you are with a child that has both in her, and it's like she's basically a double minority is what they would call it, when actually all the minorities are like the majority. So yeah, but that's another story.
Anything new is hard though for anybody to get adjusted to, and since I was the first, I could see how hard it was for them to basically, they were trying to predict my future when you just don't know how a person's future will turn out. All you can do is love and support them, and they did that well. So I feel like I'm well rounded. I accept others for who they are, because that's what I want to be treated like.
I think it's a wonderful thing. I think it's a beautiful thing. Obviously, I don't know life being one thing, but I was accepted on both sides of my family also. My grandmother always calls me her little mamacita because I am Mexican and black. So, and then my other grandmother, I'm her African queen. So I get the best of both worlds. And then later on in life, when I had my little baby, my son's father is black and Caucasian. He's not half and half, but he's very fair skinned, and you can tell that he has Caucasian in him. So that was something new for us, because we've experienced being black and Mexican, but we have not experienced like Caucasian. And I feel like I seen discrimination once I had my son from a standpoint of a white person, and it was very different for me, because it's like, here it is, this is my son, and like some of my younger cousins or my cousins made comments towards my child that I was like, uh-oh, like, wait, my son is very fair, he has colored eyes, but they look just like my mother. He has brown hair. He pretty much is like the spitting image of my mom. And we're darker skinned, so we know what it's like to grow up with the brown child with the lighter mother. But now I'm the darker mother with the lighter child. Like, it's a very different situation for me. My son is like, oh, I'm an African king, oh, I'm African, and he's so happy to be African American, and he knows that he's Mexican, and he knows that he's Caucasian, but a lot of people talk to him in a way that he can't be himself, as far as him going to school and them telling him that he's not black. He is black. Or younger black kids telling him he's a white boy. And it's like, to me, I feel like how America sees you, if you have any type of black in you, you're black pretty much. They don't care that my mom is mixed, or that his dad is mixed, or that his mother is mixed. You're black, and that's how they see you. So my son, referring to, like, my son wants to go on African safaris, he wants to live in Africa, like, and my son's 5 years old, and he's very, like, when we go to the outlets down in San Ysidro, he's like, Mom, let's go to Mexico. He sees the flags, and he's very aware of who he is. But there are people who try to like break your spirit down or try to make it seem like one thing is worse than the other or one thing is better than the other, and we just weren't raised like that. And now, like, each generation we see it differently and differently. Like when I was younger and I was in school, I was always accepted by the Mexican girls. Some of the black girls didn't like me very much, but the Mexican girls always accepted. I think we're at the part where, so my older sister, yeah, she didn't feel like she was accepted by the Mexican girls at school. Not the Mexican family per se, but the Mexican girls at school always had a problem with my sister. But also the black girls had a problem with my sister. My sister is probably my color, maybe, well, we're around the same color. But she has like this long hair like she's Pocahontas or somebody. And that's not to be disrespectful to anybody of the Native community, because we are absolutely Native American. I've done my ancestry. I know what we are, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful, but she has the long flowy hair, and a lot of girls, you know, didn't like her. And then we have my older brother who, he's lighter than all of us. He's nice to look at. But he always was more with like accepted by the Mexican boys at school and was not accepted by the black or African American boys at school. So, and then my younger sister, she was I think she said she was more accepted by the black girls at school. She was okay with the Mexican girls, but I feel like with me, they were very accepting. Like even when I was in beauty school, they were very accepting to me. In elementary and middle and high school, like I was accepted by them. I've had my couple of friends that I've always dealt with, but like the majority of like the African American girls, they didn't like me. Like, we don't know why. My mom has never taught us to feel like we're better than anybody else or that people are jealous of us. So we've always been taught if someone's being made fun of, you need to stand up for that person. If something is going wrong where you see that is wrong, you need to chime in. You don't just let things happen to people. My mom has never taught us that, and I feel like that was because of her upbringing and how she was taught and how she was raised about certain things, and both sides of her family being accepting to her. So like even with my child, like I said, people calling him a white boy or people telling him that he's not black, and I'm seeing it from a whole different view. I feel like it is a good thing that we live in San Diego, California, because it is a very diverse city here. There's people, it's a melting pot here pretty much. But if we live somewhere like Mississippi or anywhere in the South, I feel like we would all have a different story. So California is a beautiful thing. San Diego is a beautiful place, and you know, we're learning more and more about who we are. Like I said, I did do my ancestry.com and I got the results back, and I actually am Irish, so maybe I got a little white in me too. So but people don't see me as being white. A lot of people don't see me as being Mexican. People just see me as I'm black. And like I said, growing up in America, if you got black in you, pretty much you're black. They don't view you as anything else. So I don't know. What do you think, Mom? She's shy. I am too, but I'm trying to figure out this YouTube thing, because when I was going through a lot of things with like being pregnant with my child, or just a lot of different things, I was on YouTube all day and all night, and I watched people's videos, and they did help me in a way. So I feel like certain things that have to do with my life, I could possibly help someone. Like I said, my mom, I always had the lighter mom and I'm the darker child, but now I'm the darker mom with the lighter child. So if someone else is struggling with that, you know, I can possibly try to put my input out there so it can reach someone with them and their child. Like it was literally a situation where someone tried to kidnap my son from the park and said that I wasn't his real mother, but that's another story. So there is things that we deal with on a daily basis that people don't think about, or you know, it just, if you're not affected by it, it doesn't bother you. But I'm thankful to be who I am. I'm happy that my parents raised me the way that they did. I'm happy that my family is the way that they are. Trying to figure out, you know, ways to kind of co-parent with my son's dad and make sure my son's on the same track that I was on, and make sure that he's not I don't know, I guess corrupted by all these mean kids who's telling him one thing and another thing. So I guess we'll end this here for the